Hello and welcome back. If you watched the first video, thank you so much, and I cannot wait to just keep going with this. So today I wanted to show you a thrifted find from the weekend and chat a little bit about knitting and just slow crafts as a whole. I have to frog a project, which is a little painful, but it had me thinking just about how there's something to appreciate about slow crafts like knitting and crocheting, and I guess the fiber arts in general, like knitting, crocheting, embroidery, needlepoint, like all of these different handmade crafts are truly so time consuming and so grounding in the way that they require you to practice a lot of patience. And I think in this time that we're in where people can do hobbies and share them, social media and the internet, I think sometimes there can be this illusion of these crafts not taking a long time. That, a person is finishing a sweater in 3 weeks time or something crazy like that. And I'm not saying that's not possible, but the average person is definitely not finishing things at that speed. And I think if you are, engaging in a hobby as just a leisurely thing or just this thing that you can only do for so many minutes of the day, it's going to take you a lot longer to complete a project. And that's totally normal. And I think that these crafts weren't ever meant to be done at, a high speed. The point of making your own clothing isn't so that you can make 10 sweaters a year. If you can, that's great. I'm so impressed. But if you can't, there's nothing wrong with that. I think that sometimes hobby culture can kind of fall into the same trap of the overconsumption fast fashion culture, or there's at least a lot of parallels, You've got the idea of buying a brand new wardrobe every single season or every single year. Whereas with hobbies, you can also have that same, or making your own clothing, you can kind of have that same pressure to make, 10 new pieces every single season or something wild like that. I've been trying to be mindful about, making sure that when I make something, it's going to fit into my current closet or it fits my personal styles. I think just remembering that it's okay to go slow. And if anything, I think it's really good to go slow and to really immerse yourself in that meditative aspect of the project and really enjoy the slowness of it. Everything moves so fast in our lives. I think that our hobbies are a great opportunity for us to not move fast and to slow down and to appreciate the process and to really just be in the moment with the thing that we're doing. So that's all I have to say about that for today. Although I am always just swirling with thoughts about this kind of stuff, because I think, again, it can be so easy to see a video, me knitting a sweater and not realize that that sweater literally could take 4 months. But sometimes you're kind of seeing that condensed version, or you're seeing a very fast knitter, and there's nothing wrong with not being fast. Anyway, I'm done yapping about that. To show you a thrifted bag that I got this weekend. I have been on the hunt for a vintage or just used, I guess, secondhand Vera Bradley bag to use as a project bag for my knitting and crocheting. At the time, I kind of have a million little these mini pouches, but I've been wanting one that had really good pockets and stuff like that. And we have a antique store or slash vendor market store in town, and a couple of the vendors sell secondhand Vera Bradley. And I finally found the perfect, I love this print. It's so pink and floral, and it has so many pockets inside. I'm so happy to have found one that I have enough pockets for my interchangeable needle set and my crochet needles and all the notions that go with both knitting and crochet. So I'm so excited about it. I'm going to pack that up with my current projects here shortly. And last little update is I want to show you where I'm at on the Sophie scarf. I started this 2 weeks ago, a little over 2 weeks ago. this is, again, reminder, I'm not a fast knitter. This was about 2 weeks ago. I started the Sophie scarf, and here she is. I mean, it looks bigger than, it looks pretty big on video, which I'm kind of stoked about. I'm going downhill, which was what I call like decreasing. So you can see my like point there, and I have started the decreases. So I'm just running down the rows and decreasing. So I don't know, I'd say I probably have like maybe 3 more hours of knitting on this. If I was being honest with myself, maybe a little bit more. So I'm hoping to maybe have this done by early next week, so that I can move on to a sweater project. I really want to start a sweater. I downloaded the cloud sweater pattern from Petite Knit, and I really, really, really want to give it a go. I think that it's definitely something that will challenge me, like, as a beginner knitter, but I just think, like, why don't we just go for it? Like, go big and just see what happens. I think I can do it. So I need to decide what yarn I want for that project and order it. Really decided I might just go ahead and order Knitting for Olive yarn online. That is a yarn that many people have used for that project and seem to really enjoy. So that is it. We'll talk soon. What?
Sure, of course.
So I just finished The Year of Magical Thinking by Joan Didion, and oh my gosh, that is a heartbreaking book. I knew nothing about the book going into it, because the copy I had from the library had no like cover sleeve, so I wasn't able to read what it was about. I literally just like picked the first Joan Didion book that our library had. My goodness, I was just gutted reading it the entire time. It's without like, it's not spoiling it. The book literally is the year from the sudden passing of her husband through kind of like a year after that happens. And the way she tells this story of kind of her journey through grief while also going through a really difficult time with her daughter is just so yeah, her writing style, it's the kind of writing style where even though she was reading, it was a nonfiction book and it was like memoir-ish, it read like a novel in so many ways, in the way that she kind of would jump back and forth between kind of like things that had happened in the past and the way she was feeling in the present moment. And yeah, I don't remember the last time I like tore through a book as quickly as I read that one. It's not that long of a book, but yeah, she's like such a beautiful writing style, and I'm really excited to pick another book of hers to read. But in the meantime, flipping back to fiction, the next book I'm reading is this book called Woodworking by Emily St. James. This has been on our library's like new books shelf. It came out in March, so it's not incredibly new, but it's still from within the last, 6 months or so. I just started this the other night and I can already tell it's going to be like such a captivating, fast read. I love a novel that just really pulls me in within the first chapter, just in terms of like the quality of storytelling. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading that one. So that's up next. We'll see. Yet again, a book I need to kind of try to read quickly because it has a has a return date at the library. That's kind of something I love about renting books from the library, is it kind of keeps me on track with my reading because I have to return it by a certain date. It's not like a book that I own where I kind of have like limitless amounts of time to read it. So it's nice because it kind of makes me stay committed to like daily reading, even if just for 10-15 minutes, because I need to stay on track. So this morning we went to our local like apple cidery, I guess we'd call it. It's not an apple orchard. Like, they don't have apples on site. It's really just where they make apple cider and apple cider donuts. So that was our first time of the season going, which I love, like these end of summer days that start to really feel like that transition into fall weather. I love fall. Yeah, I especially love early fall where it's like crisp mornings, but it still, gets up to a nice temperature and is like nice and sunny and bright. So yeah, it was really nice to go do something slightly fall feeling, and go spend some time at the park and it feel like nice and still somewhat summery. So I have some like other projects that I'm like itching to get started, but I'm really trying to keep myself held down to finishing the Sophie scarf before I cast anything else on or start another project. So I think it's a beautiful day. I think I'm going to pack up a little bag with some seltzer and maybe a book too for when I need like a knitting break. And I think I'm going to go to the park and do some knitting and just relax in the fresh air with it not being humid and a million degrees, and just really get some nice recharge time for myself. Earlier in the video, I was talking about the cloud sweater from Petite Knit and trying to decide what yarn I wanted. And I did end up going with Knitting for Olive in both. I got heavy merino and the silk mohair because the pattern calls for doing the two strands together. And so I got this like, the heavy merino is kind of like a chocolatey brown, but it has like a little bit of variegation to it. Like, it's not just like flat brown. There is like a little bit of something to it. I think the color was bark. I don't remember. And then the mohair is the same color. The mohair is definitely more of like a flat color than variegated, since it's such a thin strand. But both like this like chocolatey brown. I realized that's like a color of sweater that's missing from my wardrobe. I've always wanted kind of like a chocolatey brown one that I can wear with like fun colored skirts or accessories or like a colorful beanie or something like that. So I'm looking forward to getting that yarn, and that's like the project that's like my motivation for finishing the Sophie scarf. It's like, once I finish the Sophie, I can cast on the cloud sweater and start going on that, so that hopefully that's ready, sometime in the next few months, so I can really enjoy it through the like late fall and winter time. So yeah, gonna go pack my bag and head to the park. finish this thing in the next like 2 days or so. Now that I'm like really far down on the decreases, I feel like the rows are going so fast. I'm really excited to be getting so close to finishing. I have exciting news. I finished the Sophie scarf. And I'm so excited to like complete a knitting project. This was the first thing I've ever completed in knitting. I've like started a few different projects, cast on a few different things, and then just like ended up frogging them because they weren't going well or because I don't know. I just didn't complete them. So it feels good to like fully finish, weave in the ends, block this project, and be very happy with it as a bonus. It's like such a cute little accessory that I can't wait to wear in the fall. It's just like I think I had mentioned how I'm trying to find like maybe like a vintage little like napkin ring or something, or even like a ring, to be honest, to like slide that through as a way to keep it closed. But I also like the like different versions of like knots you can do to kind of have it like hang down. There's a few like hacks I've seen for getting them to like kind of fall a little bit flatter, like where you knot one side and then slip the other one through. Just feeling like I'm like, I don't know, I'm riding a high right now for finishing a project. Like task completion is something that I can kind of struggle with sometimes. I'll start a craft or a house project or something and then get like distracted and or bored with it and like want to do something else. So, that's definitely a thing I'm like actively trying to like work through and understand and know about myself and kind of try to do what I need to kind of get past that or to at least be able to manage that a little bit better, and challenge myself to complete things. So this obviously not like the biggest thing in the world to complete, but yeah, it just still feels good to like finish something. So I am so excited that I didn't think I was going to be able to like finish it before I finished this vlog. So I'm kind of happy that we're able to like end this vlog and end the Sophie scarf project like as a whole. And I cannot wait to cast on my next project. I think my cloud sweater yarn will be here this week, but I think I'm going to knit one more smaller accessory first, just to kind of, again, get some more practice under my hands before I start tackling a full-blown sweater. So I will share that in the next vlog, and it was so fun to just like take you through some of my moments of working on this, and I can't wait to get started on the next one, and I will see you next time.